Do you find yourself between a rock and a hard place? Well, look no further. I will explain the origins of the Blue Bomber just for you. My name is Fantastic, and I consider myself to be somewhat of an expert when it comes to Mega Man. In order to understand the origins of Mega Man, it might help if we start at the beginning. In the beginning, there was a man, and in this universe, he is the father of robotics. His name is Dr. Thomas Light. To begin this story, there are some events that predate the first Mega Man game. Ironically, these events happen in the latest Mega Man game in the classic series. So Dr. Thomas Light went to the Robotics Institute of Technology with Albert Wiley, and together they did a lot of work in robotics, but as Dr. Thomas Light and Albert Wiley were both friends and colleagues at the Robot Institute of Technology, together they advanced the field of robotics, whereas Dr. Light saw robots as companions, Wiley only saw them as tools to a mean. So as their studies progressed, they both diverged paths. Dr. Thomas Light worked on the means for robots to think independently, as Dr. Wiley worked on the double gear system, which would allow robots to exceed their maximum potential. After they graduated college, they went their separate ways. Dr. Light continued working in robotics, and Dr. Wiley, no one really knows. But one fateful day, Dr. Light creates his very first robot, and this robot is donned with the identification number DNL000. Proto Man, or also known as Blues. And since he was the prototype, he had a faulty design. His reactor, so Dr. Light went in to try to fix Proto Man, but Proto Man wasn't having it. He mistakenly thought that Dr. Light was going to reprogram him and remove his independent thinking. So he wandered for as long as he could. He wandered until his reactor was depleted. Luckily for him, or unluckily, he was found by Dr. Wiley. Dr. Wiley fixed Proto Man, but also took his design and modified him to become a fighting robot. And with Proto Man's design, he created the template for the Sniper Joe robots. Proto Man felt betrayed, but he also felt indebted to the Doctor because the Doctor did save his life. And during this time, Dr. Light was at a loss for what to do, so he created two new robots, and these robots had the identification number of DLN001 and DLN002. And I think I forgot to mention, but DLN stands for Dr. Light Number. And these robots were respectively named Rock and Roll, also known as Mega and Roll. But Rock and Roll were both domestic robots, and they took care of the household chores. They also aided Dr. Light in the lab. Rock and Roll provided insight and companionship to the Doctor, and with this advancement, Dr. Light, while being aided by Rock and Roll in the lab, Dr. Light found and managed to refine an element, ceratanium, a compound of ceramic and titanium. It is a light alloy, but it is extremely durable. And with this discovery, Dr. Light went on to create more robots. But these robots were industrial instead of domestic. So he went to create the robots DLN 3 through 8. And I will give a brief description of each robot and their function. So DLN-3, also known as Cut Man, and the next robot created by Dr. Light was DLN-004, Guts Man. Guts Man is a stocky, big, strong robot with the purpose of construction, and main power is his super strength. There's another robot master that was created to work with Guts Man. It will continue going in chronological order. The next robot, DLN-005, or Iceman, was created for doing human activities in sub-zero temperature. While Iceman thrives in sub-zero temperature, he can also operate in extreme heat. The next two robots were created at the same time, but I'm going to go with DLN-006. Bomb Man. Bomb Man is the robot that I talked about earlier that was created with Guts Man. So Bomb Man, as his name says directly on the tin, uses bombs. He goes through, destroys areas, levels them, and Guts Man comes through and he lifts the debris, he moves the debris. They were essentially a match made in heaven. The next robot, which was created at the same time, was DLN-007, Fireman. And Fireman is not a fireman as in firefighter, but he is a fireman as in he uses fire. Fireman and Bomb Man were created at the same time. And coincidentally, Dr. Light said that Iceman could handle it if things got out of control. But Fireman controls flame up to 8,000 degrees, and his sole purpose is for waste management. And the last robot is DLN-008, and this is Elecman. This is Dr. Light, pride and joy. And he was created for regulating nuclear power plants. Elecman controls electricity. He is one of the fastest robot masters, rivaled only by Quick, we'll get into in the next. But Dr. Light created all these robots to work with. They were our allies, and they contributed to society. So before they were shipped off to their respective areas, Dr. Light, Rock, and Roll threw a party, and the robot enjoyed themselves, and they went up, but one by one, they disappeared. But with their reappearance, chaos ensued, and Dr. Light felt guilty. He knew that no one could stand up to the might of the robot, so Rock took it upon himself to step up. Dr. Light didn't want to. Rock was his pride and joy, but Rock persisted. Dr. Light reluctantly gave in. Utilizing his research in Serotonia, he was able to outfit Rock with durable body armor. He also equipped Rock with a solar-powered buster cannon. This is kind of what it looks like, except this is what Proto Man's cannon looks like. When Rock fought his brother once. When Rock defeated the very last one, Dr. Wily came out in his UFO. He challenged Rock to come find him, and Rock sets off at the end of Wily's fortress. Rock has to fight the Yellow Devil, and its weak point is eye, only visible for a second. And once Rock defeats the Yellow Devil, he goes and he fights CWU-01P. And then he fights the Copy Bot, which is exactly the same as Rock. And he also has to defeat the 6 robot masters once again, though I am certain that these are copy robots, not the original. And in the final part of Fortress, Rock fights Dr. Wily in the Wily machine, and it is a 2-phase fight. And once Wily is defeated, he begs and he pleads. And that is the end of Mega Man 1. And in the next video, I will explain what happens before, during, and after the events of Mega Man 2. Thanks for watching.